Hi there, Ashley here with We Make Systems Sexy. Today I want to talk to you more about SOP manuals, but very specifically about something that ties into another subject that we talked about recently about how to run your business that doesn't rely on your 24/7 oversight, but specifically about how to run a business without you being in it all of the time and what that's going to free you up to do. So let's talk a little bit about why we want that and how that's actually possible. So you can always go back and listen to the video that we did about that specific topic about having a business that's not constantly reliant on you. But today I want to specifically talk about why that's important and what that actually looks like once you have it into place in your business. So at the beginning of 2022, my team and I actually did a really large SOP manual project for a large and ever growing mortgage brokerage. The brokerage had only been in business for 2 years, but they figured out a good model. They started growing, and it was one of those we're growing despite ourselves because we have good work and we have a good team. And once they got to the point of really hiring and hiring and hiring and hiring more and opening new branches, they were at this point where they didn't have a good onboarding process for new team members. They were struggling to keep everyone trained and up to date. There was a lot of going back and forth because they didn't already have those things in place. They had a 70-page document in Google Drive that housed all of the information for their team, for their company as an overview. And let me just ask you one question realistically. Who's going to look at that? Especially when it's not organized. There wasn't even a table of contents. Information was haphazardly thrown in there. Some of the information was intended to be added into this document and never was. As you can see, they had good intentions. They were trying their best to keep track of all of these things, but they never actually took the time to sit down and break down what is an actual instructional SOP, what is just a company policy, how do we structure this so that these things stay up to date, so that team members can easily find information, especially during the onboarding process. So they actually reached out for an SOP manual. We did the first scope was 100 SOPs for this company. And I know you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, 100 SOPs, but we loved it because it's what we do. It's how we break down those humongous documents and make it into this living, breathing organism that's at the heart of your organization. And we love doing that. So again, why is it so important that this business who was growing and having success, why was it so important that they went back to this step of creating an SOP manual? As I mentioned, they had only been in business for basically 2 years by the time that they approached us. They had grown to the point that they had 50 people under their main umbrella of their branch in different locations, offering loans in different locations, and others who were either trying to start mortgage brokerages or were trying to really see how they were successful were reaching out to them. How do you do this? Help us. We'll pay you money to help us figure out how to do this. So they started thinking outside of the box. Aside from just doing loans, how can we show other people to set up their brokerages in the way that we have and have had success? So do those owners need to be involved in the day-to-day of helping new loan officers being onboarded into their company so they can continue to grow their company? Or do they need to be more forward thinking as the visionaries of their business so they can see what's the next step to keep growing in our business? Obviously, the answer to that question is the second option, right? What is the next step so that we can keep growing? Because if you're not growing, you're getting stagnant and you're not going to keep up with just the demands of the market. That's just the way that it is. You will fall stagnant. You will fall backwards. Very often is the case. And if you're not prioritizing having these SOPs in place and all that that means, keeping them updated and using them and encouraging your team members to use them and encouraging everyone to have the same company culture based on the SOPs, that's when you start to backslide and lose all of the momentum that you're gaining in growing your business. So again, this company has been able to grow and scale in this way. And also even seeing, okay, what processes did we have that are now actually out of date? That was the second scope of this project for their team members that then go in and actually see, wow, we didn't even know we had these SOPs in place. Now we have to audit and see what's out of date and what needs to be brought back up to date. If you don't, then somebody's going to be going in trying to search for some kind of process so they can actually have help in completing a task or a part of their loan process, for example, and using an out of date document or process that they happen to find in Google Drive somewhere. Obviously, that's dangerous. We need to keep these items up to date, organized, easy to find, easy to read, easy to follow, and easy to hand off to other people. So again, this is more of a discussion, not just about how to run a business that doesn't rely on your oversight all the time, but how to stop being in your business and work on your growing your business. So, having said that, again, we love talking about all things SOPs. If you are still unsure about what you can delegate to other people, what processes you should start documenting, feel free to download our delegation exercise, which actually walks you through a little exercise of how you can figure out what items can I start documenting so that I can then delegate these to team members that I do hire. If you need help with figuring out how and what needs to be created for your SOP manual, we do offer the SOP manual in a day, VIP day. So if you have questions about that, always feel free to DM us. But that looks like getting your top processes created, set up, linked to your project management tool, and showing your actual team members for how to continue to grow your SOP manual and keep those items updated so that your business can grow. If you have questions about that, shoot me a DM, let me know, respond to this video, and I'm always happy to talk about those things. All right, thanks. See y'all next time. Have a great week.